partners and customers that still feel reticent about it, we literally have partners out there that build their own layer of security, and we're more than happy to connect our customers and partners to such security providers. Economics. This is not a situation where we're looking at 5 or 10% savings. The TCOs that we get for most of our customers and partners ranges between 50 and 70%. These are staggering economics in today's economic climate. One of the major drivers of the migration to cloud is clearly the economic factor. Elasticity, you pay for what you use, so if it is not being used, there's no expense, versus building, managing a data center with lots of servers, lots of security patches, lots of compatibility considerations, etc. And of course, again, we go back to the consideration of budget. Do you want to spend your money infinitely on IT, or do you want to spend it where it really belongs, and that is on business innovation? And ultimately, it's about choice. At Microsoft, our focus is to give every user of cloud the option of having it on-premise or off-premise. We often say that data is the new oil, and that is absolutely the case, and I'll talk extensively about data today. Now, we use this metaphor because it's really up to us to go out and find the data, mine the data, understand it, and most importantly, to monetize that data. Regrettably, whenever we talk to, whether it is government or even in the private sector, we consistently get feedback that it's not a question of gathering the data as much as it is to understand and leverage the power of that data to make best possible business decisions. So consider for a moment what IoT has done. I think IoT is a very generic term. We say IoT. I think the biggest game changer with IoT today is the price of these devices. When you can have CPU, ROM, RAM, ports, basically a little computer fit on a device the size of your small finger or smaller, potentially the size of a credit card, and have that under $20, then really you've cracked the code on having intelligent devices that can go macro. In other words, they can be pervasive everywhere. And that's what I call the ripple effect. We are seeing the evolution of IoT change the infrastructure landscape. And this ripple effect is we can use these devices for the purpose of business innovations, and then the ripple also comes into the amount of data it produces. Today, the data universe is doubling every 2 years. That has massive implications for companies and for government, especially when we talk about smart city. Again, we have dialogue all the time with different ministries in government who grapple with the battle of dealing with all this immense amount of data that they have. How do we better leverage analytics of that data? And how can we harness the power of machine learning, which I'll talk about extensively? Now, the world is going smart. Whether we talk about e-health, we talk about logistics, or smart environment, or we talk about industrial control, we are seeing devices very small, again, small than the size of your little finger, that can be used for infants. So today we can monitor a newborn's baby's heart rate, their skin temperature. We can even monitor the position in which they sleep and look for anomalies proactively on these small devices and communicate to mom and dad the condition of the baby and whether or not they're sleeping improperly. We have similar devices out there today for the elderly. The elderly today have a routine, a habit. If that habit is broken, IoT devices today can communicate to family that there's an irregularity in that person's daily routine. We are hearing a lot about smart farms. We are very conscious about water supply and irrigation. And today you are seeing smart farms appearing all over the world that leverage information around wind, air temperature, humidity in the soil, and produce the water at the right time. Even for something as trivial as waste management, we are seeing globally today IoT devices being used to optimize waste management. Think for a moment of having a large trash bin that is collected by a municipality, and you don't have to pick that bin up until it is 100% full. A device that is mounted on that bin will communicate that it's ready for collection. And there are countless other examples that I won't get into, but clearly this is a disruption in technology that is changing the way that we all do business. I have a few examples up here that I won't go into detail extensively, but here are a few cases. UPS today has 80,000 vehicles in their fleet. They use something called OBD devices. These are basically small devices that you mount inside of a car or a truck or any moving device, and they can understand where those vehicles are at any point in time. They can also optimize traffic routing based on some very good analytics tools that they have. If you've been to Disney, or you have kids and they've taken you to Disney, then you know there's a device they have called the Magic Band. That's basically an IoT device that you wear around your wrist. You can use that device to check into your hotel, enter the amusement park, and other things as well. Pier 1 Imports, they actually have a very nice video playing today. You can see that on YouTube, talking about how Pier 1 Imports is using the power of cloud and specifically machine learning to predict what customers might buy next. And then finally, Rivertree, we talked a bit about agriculture. Again, they're using IoT devices for agriculture for the purpose of optimizing irrigation management. So many examples. What's most exciting about this space is the number of companies that see the opportunity and are building businesses around smart cities to create solutions that leverage the power of IoT and of cloud. So this is not from Microsoft, this is from Gartner. The reality is only 5% of data in the universe today is, again, understood, managed, and leveraged for business optimization. The rest of it is much like a glacier that you see here. It is underwater, it is not visible, it is not being used. Now, why is that the case? Why are we overlooking all of this data? Well, the first reason is there's so much of it. The second reason is that data scientists are very expensive people. Not everyone is going to go out and hire 5 or 10 data scientists to parse through that data, build algorithms, and produce business processes. That doesn't scale for any business. And then finally, the biggest issue that we face is the absence of proper software in IT to understand and manage that data in a way that is very easy for IT teams to use today. So I'll give you a few examples, and these are practical examples of how machine learning is being used today. And it's not futuristic. It is not a term that is being thought about down the road. It's in use today and is being used very heavily horizontally, which means it's being used in many industries. So here are a few examples. Machine learning, and certainly you can look this up as well on your own and see some of the applications of machine learning. Machine learning basically means we are taking historical data, the abundance of data that we talked about, and leveraging that to be able to predict outcomes. So for example, in the banking sector, it would be ideal that we can build a solution around understanding the likelihood that someone is going to default on their credit. Think about the aviation space for a moment. What is the optimal time for an aircraft to take off? Understanding the situation in the air with other aircrafts, understanding the evolution of temperature, wind, and climate. Think about for a moment the retail space. We talked a bit about Pier 1 Imports earlier. There are many companies today, and I'm emphasizing many, that are in the space of trying to predict retail and consumer behavior on what they will buy next. Machine learning is a big part of that. Think about government. We talk about smart city and building out your urban infrastructure and designing urban based on traffic flows, based on off-peak and on-peak, the number of vehicles on the road. we hope to have time later on today to show a very nice video leveraging the power of IoT and cloud in this particular context, in the context of a smart city. Machine learning is being used in the telco space today, and that would be to assess what is the best possible package for a person to use a data plan. We're seeing that in many places, not just here in the Gulf. And then finally, in oil and gas, where is the optimal place to go out and mine and drill for oil? In many cases, that drilling comes up empty. Again, machine learning is being used for such an application. We have done some extensive work with Real Madrid. I know this is not specific to Smart City, but there is some relevance which we'll get into shortly. Real Madrid today has 450 million fans around the world. It is a staggering number. Does anyone want to guess how many of those fans are actually in Spain where Real Madrid plays? It's only 8%. So the vast majority of their fan base is outside of Spain. There's actually 13% of their fan base in Indonesia alone. And we can only understand that data by mining the data, working in partnership with Real Madrid to understand exactly where is their fan base, what is the sentiment of the fans, who are they talking about, what players are they following, which players they don't like and want to see traded or moved out. And this can all be done through the power of big data today. If we can tie in sentiment analysis to social media feeds to see what people are saying, if we can provide another layer of experience for consumers and fans of football out there, then you've done a good thing for the sport and for Real Madrid. And that's exactly what has happened. So Real Madrid has partnered with Microsoft specifically in leveraging the Microsoft Cloud to have an augmented experience for its fan base. So being able to see, for instance, the players before the game, not just the game itself, having a virtual seat at the stadium. So of course, stadium capacity at only 50 or 70,000 means you may not be at the game, but they see an opportunity to monetize the experience of their fan base to have extended experiences again through cloud. We have a video that we'll try to play. It's just a 1-minute video, and I hope that the audio is working. It's okay. If it's not working, that's fine. I think the message here, again, is clear. So what they've done is they've leveraged the power of sentiment analysis, dynamics, and Azure to put together an experience that is very unique and improved for those who are subscribers, for those that are fans. I was going to celebrate a Real Madrid goal, unless you're a Barcelona fan. Okay, what I'd like to do next is shift gears and move over to the demo. As they're setting up in the back for the demo, I'll give you some background on this. We've worked extensively in putting together demo experiences of harmonizing the power of the Internet of Things with cloud services in a way that makes smart cities even smarter. So as the team is setting that up, what we've done basically is taken these devices. So I'm not sure if you know what an OBD device is, an onboard device. Any car out there in the world that is newer than 1996, we can all mount these devices underneath where you have the steering wheel, and you can collect all kinds of really nice information from that vehicle. So you can pick up its speed, its fuel consumption, the state of health of that vehicle, predict potentially when some part is going to go down. So that again is the power of machine learning. And we've literally demoed this to a variety of different government ministries across the Gulf, and it's gone over very well because we think that this is the direction of smart cities. So I gave you the example earlier on about UPS and how they manage their fleet of 80,000 vehicles. We could, in theory, have a future where these devices are mounted either for taxi use, for school bus use, or for general population use. And we have terrific information about road safety, about traffic, and it's all real time. And I'll share a few examples with you here. This is a Windows application. It is a demo experience, but certainly it is very doable with today's technology. These are some dashboards that show your carbon footprint, parking occupancy. On the top right-hand side, you'll see a list of incidents, road infractions, and accidents. We'll also see some very important KPIs like emergency response time, which of course is mission critical and can save lives. We'll also look at the number of traffic violations that do take place. And again, these are very relevant bits of data for any government. I'm going to ask for us to move to speeding. So it's not uncommon to see radar devices out there, but drivers are very clever drivers. They will speed between the radars. Now that sounds all fine and okay, but this of course increased the potential for accidents and fatalities on the road. Through the power of IoT today, we can on a per second basis understand the speed of any given vehicle at a point in time and produce an immediate infraction that of course could save lives, presents for any government an opportunity to derive more revenue, and also rips out the infrastructure for toll roadways, which is a tremendous economic benefit on a CapEx level. This is an example of, you see the vehicles in the middle, those are purple. For those that are really reckless drivers, we have in the red vehicles that are just speeding slightly above the speed limit. So all of this is doable through big data collection from onboard IoT devices. And again, our aim here is partially the business side and the CapEx and the revenue side, but ultimately to me, the real benefit is road safety. Let's move over to accidents, emergency and dispatch. So here's an example of two cars. The red car is going too fast and it's about to hit the green car. Now, in a real life situation, this would happen. Someone in the cars would have to call for support, call for help, call for a tow truck. Of course, all of this takes time. With IoT devices today mounted inside vehicles, this will work through Microsoft Cloud, and we can tell, again, on a per second basis, whether or not there's been a road accident. It'll produce these bubbles that you see here. One bubble will show the people that were involved in the accident, their license plate number, identification of the vehicles, etc. And then you have all these other circles around, so police vehicles, ambulances, fire engines, there's even helicopters. And you simply, from a knock level, would click on one of those and dispatch an emergency vehicle to the scene. Again, not futuristic, absolutely doable today from a technology perspective. Let's move over to parking. Thank you. So another consideration today is revenue at a parking level. There are many cities in the world that have installed these parking meters. They're fairly costly, they're difficult to maintain, and today, with the power of cloud, we can use a technology called geofencing. Geofencing simply means that you would create, as though you're clicking on a PowerPoint, a parking zone, a toll zone, where people can park their cars in that zone and immediately through a smartphone produce information, or through an onboard device, produce information that the person has parked there. It's good on many levels. There are people sometimes who will park in zones and often forget to feed the meter. This is one way to alleviate that issue. It's also very good potential revenue stream for governments. They can also do things like sensitivity analysis to see where is the best place to have such a geolocation zone. So again, sounds a bit futuristic, but this is precisely what we're seeing happening. And if it's not happening, we're seeing a lot of POCs in the context of smart cities today. I leave you with that. Again, it's a lot of information to take in. It is very exciting to see what cloud and IoT are doing today to change the world of smart cities. And we hope that if you have any queries or you have additional questions, you do reach out to us at Microsoft. We're more than happy to have a dialogue around these exciting technologies. I'll pause for a moment. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take on those questions.
We live in a world of mobile technology.
And here's the video playing.
But it is not the device that is mobile. It is you.
When there is a game, when there is a training, when there is a goal, our duty is to bring that information as fast as possible to the people. Real Madrid have about 450 million fans. We're trying to give them all the feeling of being at the stadium. The Microsoft Cloud gives us the scalability to communicate exactly the content that people want to see. Microsoft Cloud allows us to establish a relationship that is more personal, is more direct with the fans. It will help people connect to their passion of living Real Madrid.
And again, it's a case where there's a tremendous flow of data that can only be scaled through cloud. We are working now with a partner that produces 1 billion events per day for building management, and that is sensors, camera information, fire safety, etc. And again, that scales only through something as elastic as the cloud. So again, I hope that was educational and informative. Please do reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you.
الكلمة الآن للمهندس عمرو عباس مدير قطاع الأراضي والممتلكات في إيزري شمال شرق أفريقيا، فليتفضل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في بداية حديثي أحب أوجه الشكر للضيوف على وقتهم ولشريكنا الاستراتيجي ITS في دعوته لينا في الحدث ده، بحيث إن احنا نتكلم على دور نظم المعلومات الجغرافية في المدن الذكية. يمكن العروض اللي فاتت سهلت لي شوية الشغل بتاعي، لأن في مجموعة كبيرة من العروض كانت بتعتمد على الخرائط في توصيل المعلومة. فخلينا نتكلم النهاردة بتفصيل أكتر شوية عن دور نظم المعلومات الجغرافية في الجزء الخاص بالمدن الذكية. لو بنتكلم على المدن الذكية حالياً، معظم الدول بتحاول تقدم خدمات أحسن للمواطنين بتوعها، بحيث إن هي تكون على قد المسؤولية الخاصة بيها، وتجذب المواطنين والمستثمرين إن هم ينفستوا في المدينة بتاعتهم. وعلشان يعملوا كده محتاجين إن هم يفهموا المدينة بشكل أكبر. يقدروا يفهموا المدينة عن طريق البيانات. عندنا مجموعة كبيرة من البيانات اللي حالياً نتيجة التكنولوجيز الجديدة زي IoT بتجنريت a lot of information داخل المدينة، والبيانات دي محتاج إن هي تتحلل وإن هي تتشاف على خرائط. بعد الجزء الخاص بالتحليل، المدن محتاجة إنها تintegrate، يعني في مجموعة كبيرة من السيستمز اللي محتاجة إنها تتكامل مع بعض علشان أبقى more efficient أو أبقى فعال بشكل أكبر داخل المدينة. وبناء على البيانات دي وتحليلي للبيانات دي أقدر آخد قرارات دقيقة مبنية على معلومات. ده بيساعدني كتير إن أنا لما آخد قرار داخل المدينة يكون up to the expectations، يعني يلبي طموح ومتطلبات المواطنين، بلس إن أنا أقدر كمان أعمل مونيتورينج أو مراقبة لكل الأحداث اللي بتحصل في المدينة والبرفورمانس الخاص بالقطاعات المختلفة داخل المدينة. لو اتكلمنا بصورة أعم على الGIS، خلينا نقول إن الGIS بيحول المدينة لمجموعة من الطبقات. الطبقات دي فيها معلومات بشكل كبير قوي. الفكرة إن الطبقات دي كلها مربوطة ببعض عن طريق اللوكيشن أو الموقع. يعني أنا ممكن يكون عندي طبقة خاصة بالشوارع، طبقة خاصة بالريجوليشن أو الاشتراطات البنائية داخل المدينة، طبقة خاصة بالترافيك. مجموعة الطبقات دي أقدر أنتجريتها مع بعض عن طريق الموقع واللوكيشن. والجي اي اس والجغرافيا هي اللي تقدر توفر لي البلاتفورم او المنصه اللي تنتجريت معظم البيانات دي مع بعض، بحيث ان انا اخد قرارات بشكل افضل. لو اتكلمنا في التكنولوجيز الجديده الخاصه بالجي اي اس، خلينا نقول ان الطريقه التقليديه في فهمنا للجي اي اس ان هي مجموعه من البيانات الثابته اللي اقدر على اساسها امانج واخد قرارات. الجديد نتيجه البيانات اللي بتيجي من السنسورز او المجسات، بقى عندي حاجه اسمها ريل تايم ميجرمنتس جايه من اجزاء كتير جوه المدينه، سواء من الترافيك، سواء من اليوتيليتيز، سواء من السمارت بيلدينجز. الانفورميشن دي بربطها باللوكيشن بتاعها هيديني بعد اكبر بكتير قوي من الرو داتا اللي هي جايه، لان انا عندي لوكيشن مربوط بالانفورميشن دي. يعني انا اقدر امانج او ادير المدينه بشكل افضل، اقدر ابلان فور ذا فيوتشر، يعني اقدر احط خطط للمستقبل بشكل افضل، بلس ان انا اقدر الاوبريشنز او اداره المدينه نفسها كاوبريشنز ومينتننس تكون بشكل افضل لخدمه سكان المدينه. لو بنتكلم على مدينه، خلينا نقول انه دايما في اي لوكيشن بيبقى في مجموعه من الخدمات بتقدم للمواطنين. الخدمات دي بتبقى كتيره جدا. لو بصينا مع بعض ان احنا ممكن يكون عندنا خدمات خاصه بالهيلث في منطقه معينه او في حي معين، في يوتيليتيز كهرباء وميه، في لاند مانجمنت، في مجموعه من الاراضي وفي تراخيص بتصدر عليها، وفي محلات تجاريه بتنشأ في الاماكن دي. فان انا اربط البيانات دي كلها ببعض عن طريق الجي اي اس ده بيكون مفيد جدا للمدينه، وكمان بيوفر لي امكانيه ان المعلومات دي لو بقت متاحه لمستخدمين المدينه، سواء اذا كان ستارت ابس البيزنس ان هو يبقى عنده معلومات كامله عن المدينه. الترانسبيرنسي دي بتؤدي في الاخر الى سستينبل ديفلوبمنت، ان الناس بتثق في المدينه وبتقدر ان هي